Hey everyone, I'm Gonzo. This is Mark. We're Dungeon Class. Today we're doing a D&D tribute to Neil Peart, the drummer and lyricist for the band Rush.
All right, so for those of you who don't know who Neil Peart is, I call him Neil Peart because when I grew up in the 70s and 80s, we didn't know how to pronounce his name. But Neil Peart, drummer for the great band Rush, one that was instrumental in me playing drums when I was a kid. I played in high school, played semi-professionally for a while, and he was the inspiration for me as a drummer. So this is an emotional time for anyone that knows about his passing. As of taping this, it was yesterday. And we thought we would take a moment to kind of talk about him a little bit. But first, for those who don't know who Neil Peart is, he's drummer for the band Rush, which Rush is, first of all, they're a Canadian band. Mm-hmm. He was the drummer and he primarily wrote the lyrics for the band. And he himself had received various awards, including he was the youngest one to be inducted into the Modern Drummer Hall of Fame. He was the youngest person to be inducted into that at the age that he was. Super ridiculously talented. Rush as the band went on to, just to kind of give you a little brief history of their success, they sold over 40 million copies across the world. They were
That's a lot.
That is more than a handful. Yeah, they won many. They had 24 gold albums, 14 platinum, and 3 multi-platinum albums. They were inducted in 1994 in the Canadian Hall of Fame, and in 2013 the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So wow. Really great band, very super talented. But when I think of Neil Peart, his percussion skills were ridiculous, and he is by far and was and always will be my favorite drummer. I have a short list of like my favorite drummers. Travis Barker would be on there as well as Myron Grombacher, but Neil Peart is top of the list. So we thought we'd take a moment to talk about an idea we have how to honor him in our game of D&D.
Yeah, how to get tribute him some way, and put him right into the pantheon of our running D&D campaigns that we've been running. So.
Yeah, so our idea is that we're going to actually make him a god for our bards. That this is part of our pantheon that a bard could worship.
Yeah, I guess anyone could, but he's definitely a bard himself.
Correct.
So, yeah.
Good.
So we named him the
Neil of Peart.
Mm-hmm. Neil of Peart, the god of drums and rhythm.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
That's good.
And just a little bit about, I'll hit up some of the spots here, and then Gonzo will chime in from here, and we'll go back and forth a little bit on what we've come up with. This is a work in progress. This is something that will be available eventually in a PDF format somewhere or another. But this is what we've got so far. So we thought we'd kind of go over some of the high points that we came up with. First of all, as Gonzo said, he is the god of drums and rhythm. His symbol are crossed drumsticks. So that seemed appropriate. And one of the things that he's known for in the earliest recorded history was he demonstrated the power and the majesty of drums. And so that's kind of a little flavor for him as well. So some of the things he's immune, it makes sense that he's immune to force and thunder damage, because as we're going to talk about later, he brings that. Yeah. And he's, as any gods typically, is immune to bludgeoning, piercing, slashing from non-magical attacks. He has some innate spell casting abilities, and we figured that his primary biggest stat would be dexterity. If anyone's ever seen him play, he's a blower of sticks, pretty much, and so powerful when he plays. So, Gonzo, you want to talk a few about some of his
well, we added spells? A few spells to to the general list that we pulled for the bones of this, creating a deity, in D&D. Some of those were Thunder Wave, Shatter, and Earthquake. Shatter made perfect sense for someone who uses sound, which we consider to be force damage or thunder damage.
Right.
Earthquake, rumbling the earth, shaking things up. I just picture him as being a force of, in battle anyway, a force of noise and damage all around. So, and then Thunderwave, we renamed that to Jacob's Ladder, one of their songs.
Yeah, and so with this, we decided to, if you know the lyrics to Jacob's Ladder, it talks about storm clouds and storms and thunder, so it fit that particular motif. And then what we did is we figured, if it's going to be a god and he's going to cast Thunderwave, he's going to really bring it. And so we made the range instead of a 15-foot cube, a 100-foot cube.
Yeah.
We upped the damage. It was like, I don't know how many D8s it was originally, but we made it 20 D8 plus 20.
Yeah, originally it's 1
ended
D8, and then you add a D8 after second level, and we just went all the way up to 20th level.
Right.
Yeah. So
And the other thing is part of that spell, if you know that spell, you can hear it. It's audible for, I forget how many feet, but we made it 1 mile. Yeah. So we figure if he's going to bring a big thunder wave, cast it, a god's doing it, you should be able to hear that for a while.
So the way I picture this is that if there's either if he's in battle or if he decides to include himself in some kind of battle with people that are worshiping him or followers of his, he just appears with this gigantic drum set all around him and casts thunder wave, and a wave of force just goes out, or thunder damage just goes out, knocking people for 100 feet around. A mile away you could hear this big explosion, and really could change the tide of battle quickly.
Right.
So that's how I picture it in my mind.
Right.
We may adjust it a little bit. Maybe the range needs to be even more, or maybe it's too powerful. But for a god, I don't think it's too powerful. I don't think he can be. So.
Yeah, so we're working on some, like I said, Gonza said, we're adding some spells here and there. Another idea we had was a boon that he actually gives to bards. And why don't you talk about that?
Yeah, this is, we named it Free Will. Now, Free Will is one of their popular songs. The lyrics are really awesome. Please take an opportunity. In fact, with all of this, if nothing else, if you want to just go back and put it on your Spotify and take a listen to Rush songs, you'll be inspired a little while. There's no way that group of bards can't affect you in some way positively.
We'll have some links down in the description of some of my favorite drum solos and songs as well. So.
Perfect. Yeah. The boon is called Free Will, and this would be for a follower of Neil Peart. The follower has the option once a week to call upon the Free Will boon, and by repeating verbally or in their mind, if they happen to be gagged or something, I will choose a path that's clear. I will choose free will. Now, these are obviously lyrics from that song. Immediately, any bonds that are holding them up or restrictions, magical or otherwise, are loosed or dispelled. Now, there's some powerful bonding. There's Force Cage, which is a cage, magical spell that wizards have. That's pretty powerful. I don't know how many opportunities that we've had where people, at least part of our party's tied up somewhere or whatever. And it'd be really cool for a follower of Neil Peart to be able to call upon that. Now, you can't do it every time you get in trouble, but you're in a bear trap, whatever it may be. But once a week or so, I don't think that's overpowering someone to receive that boon as becoming a follower of this guy.
Yeah, he is a god, though. I mean, so it's interesting.
He
As
can
we were putting
wherever.
this together, we were looking at it seems like it's too powerful. Well, he is a god,
Yeah.
So
and by the way, he can cast this on himself at will. Right. So if someone were to bind him in some way, he just chooses free will, and that's how it is. Anyway, that's the way we're working on that.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what we've come up with so far. We've basically, this was an interesting process. It was kind of reflective. This has been
we've only been working on it a few hours, as you can tell.
Yeah,
it just happened. It was raw in our hearts. And anytime you lose anyone in the music community or someone that's affected you in some way, we just felt it was a great way for us to have an opportunity to tribute him in somehow. So we were working on it, but we definitely would like your comments on adding to this as we're developing this PDF. And fleshing it out entirely. So in the comments below, if you would mind letting us know some other things we could add, whether it's a spell, an ability he may have, something like that. Any final words for you?
No, I don't think so. I know you wanted to share.
I did. I wanted to share just the lyrics
of
one of his songs, or their songs, called "Closer to the Heart," and we'll close with that. And I'll read it to you. It's the blacksmith and the artist reflected in their art. They forge their creativity closer to the heart. And with that, class dismissed.